We spoke maybe 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Man, long. A lot of conversations in the drive.
Yeah.
You know, come home to the family after long days, you know, trying to manage everything, our children, life, everything. I'm super proud of him. Super proud of Marlon also. What he's brought to this community.
The magic number is 3 or 4.
Yeah, man.
I call it the wake up number.
Yes, sir.
We didn't go like my grandfather had 13.
Oh, man.
No pun. So we woke up early and said, oh man, we not going nowhere else, man. It's that scary, especially for my guy right here that has 1. And he's sitting around the table with us and we're saying 3, 4. And he's over here like, 1 is enough. Keep going.
Hey, what's going on? It's Ricky Venters and Marlon Madden, man, and we are here. It's a Success Journey show. Listen, it's been a while, man, since we sat down and recorded something. And as you can see, man, it looks a little different today, right? We're at a table filled with a whole bunch of great men, great fathers, and we're releasing this on Father's Day. So if you're watching this, we just want to say Happy Father's Day to you. You know, I would say, you know, it's funny because I told my wife we're doing this for fathers, and they're like, yo, Father's Day is not to 2 weeks. But if it was Mother's Day, they'll be all excited about it because I'm thinking about it in advance, right? So we just want to do something special for the fathers, man. It's a couple weeks out, but we're going to release this on Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all you fathers that are out there in your sons and daughters' lives. Man, keep doing what you're doing, and we really hope you enjoy the show.
Let's do this. Let's make this meaningful. Fathers are very important. I see that fathers, we're sometimes in the backdrop, and a lot of times in the backdrop or in the back end of everything, we'll be doing the work, and a lot of people get the praise and everything, and we won't take the glory, and we won't take the shine. And I'm not saying that we want to jump out and be in the front, but today, just like Ricky's saying, it's the 22nd, it's Father's Day. We want to honor the fathers and tell the fathers that you have been meaningful in not only your lives, but there's kids around that you actually impact and make sure that they get that fathership that they don't have. All right.
We're doing this from a different angle as well, man. All these fathers here are connected to sports in some way. And if you've been following Marlon and our journey, we have been open up this facility here, beautiful facility, Success Journey Sports. If you're in the area, come check us out anytime you want. But yeah, we're going to come from the perspective of fathers of athletes. So we welcome you to the Fatherhood table, where we talk to fathers behind the scenes of the athletes that are growing and doing great things in our world. I want to ask everyone a question here, and whoever feels comfortable answering. Like, what changed when you became a father? Like, we all had these expectations, but what changed?
Well, I'll go.
Go ahead.
So before you become a father, you're married, you're worrying about finances, stuff, stress at home. And then you get a kid, you're like, oh shit. Hi, I'm Liridon Shabani. I have 2 kids. I have a daughter that's 11 years old. She's just finishing elementary school, going to middle school. She's not into sports, but she's a good musician. She loves piano. That's what she's been doing. And I have a son that just finished 9th grade at John Carroll and plays basketball for John Carroll. Life changes, you know what I mean? But it gives you another perspective in life. Like, now, success is not important, meaning work is not that important. What you have in front of you right now, raising this kid and bringing this kid to life and providing for this child is what's important. So that changed for me. And when I had a daughter, that even changed more because then a girl in the world is different than a boy in the world.
Tell me about it.
So you're like, all right, now I got to be a father on another level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because my son, he can look like me, do things like me, but a daughter is different. You gotta tighten things up.
So Ricky, so the key word for me would be responsibility. I feel as though I was just so wild when I was younger. And when you had that first kid, you kind of think about all the responsibility. You're like, Boy, I just had 3 goldfish down.
TJ Singleton. I have 2 boys, 2 girls. The child that would recognize me with is Jeremiah Singleton. He plays basketball. Rest of them kids.
But they're good. They're very smart kids.
Thank you.
That's all.
You understand? I remember asking God, like, God, just help me provide so I can feed her better than the goldfish.
This guy's made for TV, man.
and then you accept the responsibility, you accept the job, and then everything else falls into place.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
responsibility will be that.
What do you got, Jay? Oh, go ahead.
That instantly becomes the only person in the world that you want to be better than you.
Oh yeah, right away.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Jeremy Bender. I've got 3, 2 older. One getting married in August.
Oh, man. Congratulations.
My daughter is out in Hollywood, making it. She's surviving. Actually, she's more than surviving. She's currently the #1 vertical actor in the country. Yeah, she's
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, she's been on Law and Order SVU. She's good, incredible work ethic. So, and then I have my son who's 14. He'll be going to Concordia Prep. Everybody knows him as Big Jake. 14 years old, 6'3", 285 pounds. And I work 2 jobs so I can feed.
Yeah.
You know, I wish everyone in here success. I don't want you all to be better than me.
Yeah.
I'm competitive.
Yeah.
Cool. I want you. Yeah, you can be here,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
here. You know, but I want you to be better than me.
Yeah.
You know,
Your kid?
my sons, my daughter, absolutely. I want them to be better. I want them to have more than me. Happier than me, better than me, taller than me, stronger than me, whatever.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah.
It's the only person.
You're 100% correct. You know why? Because I don't want nobody taller than me. But my son, but people are like, oh, he's going to be taller than me. I'm like, for real?
Yeah. I'm soon.
Yeah. For real. So you're absolutely 100% correct. I'm passing my guy.
No, I was about to say, I'm 45 right now, right? 45.
Damn.
Hey, nah, that's baby. I know. Yeah, so I'm Zach Houston, and I have two sons. My oldest son plays professional basketball in Israel at the current moment. A lot of things going on over there, so I talk to him every day. And my youngest son plays basketball for Gilead Academy. I've been coaching since I was 19. So you asked what changed. I got a fatherhood moment at 23 when I was coaching girls. From South Florida, just the coaching climate down there is just a real different climate. So you talk to those kids rough and they respond. Like you can't, the gentle coaching, that ain't working. So, I had a parent with a girl. She was like, hey, this girl, she was like, my daughter don't have a dad. She was like, and she looks at you like a father. And so I'm like, man, I'm just listening to Jeezy. I'm listening to Too Short, every negative. I was on that. When she told me that, I was like, huh? But that's like the thing when a lot of those girls, they kind of look those. So I changed. I'm not gonna lie to you. I made some changes then, and I think the Lord prepares you.
Yeah.
That prepared me for when I met my wife, and now I got a stepson, and I just learned a month in, you can't say it's your stepson. You got to say it's your real son. So now I'm like, okay, this is my real son. And so it's just, but I think from 25, I was being prepared for fatherhood. And so when my son was actually born, I was kind of used to it.
Yeah.
So I would say I didn't change when I had my son. I changed at 25 when that lady told me, hey, you gotta be her dad. So every time I was on her and any of those girls, I turned into like what I thought a father should be.
Girl.
I was a totally different person.
Yeah.
So know,
Yeah.
that was just a change from, you know.
Casey Williams. I have 2 sons. Pierre, 6 years old, plays baseball for Havre de Grace, and Eladio Williams, incoming freshman, going to Boys Latin for football as an athlete. One of the best athletes in the state of Maryland. Super proud of him. Man, I think I struggled with that, with changing. It took me a little while. I had my son in college, so a little different for me, and I think the thing that changed me was like being reckless. I think like growing up in my environment, being reckless was like cool.
Yeah.
Like this is like it was normal to me. Just doing things that was wrong. It just felt right. Growing up, all my friends, we all just doing the same thing. So it took me a long time to adjust. I mean, a long time. I'm talking about I can't sit here and lie. It took me to probably my son, you know, a couple years into his life to really kind of adjust to everything. Like, I'm still adjusting.
Yeah.
For real. It's still changing.
Yeah.
Like you said, like I ain't gonna lie. But,
Join the party.
yeah, but so, being reckless, I think the best things I would do things just thinking about myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and then this, waking up not caring.
Yeah. Yeah.
But once I had him, when I had my second son, I was like, hey. And then getting in this environment, I said, man, I gotta change, man. You go back home and everything is stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is stuck. And still to this day, it's just stuck. So it's like, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. That's why I'm blessed to be down this way, So, yeah, that's being reckless is probably my biggest change.
Yeah.
Change.
I can tell you did good with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real.
Every time I see your boy after a game, he come over and shake my hand. Thank you, coach. I'm like, I'm not. We just played against you. You had a great game. Thank you. And I every time I follow, on Instagram or something, see what he's doing, and send him a little message. Thank you, sir. Really appreciate it. Like, very respectful. Just an awesome young man. So
Sounds like he's humble too.
very much so.
That's a big deal.
Because he's daddy now. Son's the opposite of us, right?
You're 100%, because he could tell you. I walk into Gillian gym, I rolled the ball on the floor, and I said, "Who got it? Who won it?" And that's how I talk when I'm in there, reckless. My son, he come in here, you total opposite.
Total.
You won't even know he's here. You know what I'm saying? If I was shooting like you, boy, I'll be talking to everybody crazy, throwing up threes. This is my son throwing up a 3.
You put it back in the whole spot.
So you're definitely right. They're definitely opposite of us.
I'll say real quick, one of the biggest changes I had to make when I became a father is the length of time on my plans. Living the life I was living before then, we planning for today, planning for tomorrow. We trying to do something that, light a fire, make something happen, as we might call it, and try to get some motion instead of waiting for God's favor, right? J.R. Clark, father of 3, my oldest son, Javon. He plays JV currently at Havre de Grace High School in the 10th grade. My middle boy, Amir Clark, he plays for IQ Elite, 6th grade team. My youngest boy, Aiden, is baby of the family, the run of the bunch. He just plays park and rec for Havre de Grace. Other than that, I'm just in the community, in the trenches, with most of the kids that everybody coaches or has affiliation with. I know them, I see them on a day-to-day basis. I work at the Boys and Girls Club. Big mental health advocate for the youth in the area, because I probably jumped over or backflipped every hurdle they're gonna face in their life. So when I look at all these kids, I see them. I see myself in all of them. So that's how I start my day. Every day, just honored to be here amongst a bunch of good fathers. I know some, and I'm looking forward to getting to know the ones I know. Appreciate everybody. So instead of planning for me, obviously we can make 5-year plan, 10-year plan. I know I had to make an 18-year plan, because I know that's when I had 1. And when you got 2, that's another 18-year plan. You got 3, that's another. And then I realized that I got to make some more changes, because I got to show them how to be a dad. So now I got to make a plan for my grandkids. Right? I gotta change my life, and I would start planting seeds, and making some long-term changes in my life to where I'm gonna be able to help my kids take care of their kids, breaking the generational curse. Because coming from the family, coming from this area, like I said, and navigating the obstacles that I did have to do. I feel obligated for my kids and the other kids that follow. It's gonna follow the blueprint. To just give them some tools and some resources, and you can't do that without making good decisions. So hopefully, prayerfully, the decisions I make now will affect obviously my kids, but I'm trying to do my best to show them how to be a man, and it'll affect my grandkids also.
Yeah.
So, I love it, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I changed me with my son. I had my oldest son. Like I was raised in Baltimore City. Mother raised me and my brother. So it changed me when I had him. I was out there. I was East Baltimore, Cherry Hill, West Side. I'm running around. Nathan Brown. I got 4 kids, 130, 121, and 2 twins, Aaron and Aaliyah. Aaron is, my oldest son, and he's a manager at Frito-Lay. He graduated college from Morgan State. My other son, Taj Brown. Taj Brown. Get it mixed up so many. Taj Brown, he played at Aberdeen High School, then went down to St. Mary's, played basketball down there for 2 years, and then he just, finished his education down there. He'll be a senior this year. And my twins, Aaliyah, Aaron, he's actually they both at Aberdeen Middle. He's going to St. Paul school next year. And my daughter, right now, we working on trying to get her, into Harvard Tech. And she does cheer. So I stay around, I'll be busy. I'm living, he had him at 20. I'm like, oh man, it's a blessing. So I just, I upped and moved out my mother's house, never been back to stay there. Me and my wife, we went out to Essex, lived for a minute, then still was a little reckless. Dad, got about 25. She moved to our father's house. I got my own apartment, so I really was like, oh yeah, this is it, And then I was like, man, let me get my family back together. I didn't want to raise my kids like I was raised. I wanted all of them so that we could have a family. And then, my other son, he popped up 5 years later after that. And then, I said, oh, I gotta stop everything. Still working, running the streets. I still was working, running the streets, and then the twins came. I don't know how they came.
We all know how they came.
We know how they came. We all
Door dropped the ball.
Funny part about it is like almost all 3 of my kids. Well, the last 3 are Scorpios, and I'm a Scorpio. So it's like we all fall right in there. We all got the same attitude and act alike. Sometimes we get around people we just observe. Until we
He was counting days.
He's just about to say that.
I'm about to give you some Scorpio.
And then I was doing all that. I still was coaching. I started coaching. I was 20. Started coaching. I coached up Gardenville, and then one of the coaches down Dunbar, he's like, "Hey, you want to come down here and coach?" Like, yeah. Hey, you can bring a lot to the kids. So right then and there, I look at all the kids that I coach. I look at them as my kids. Like I can say, man, I had this kid. This kid, he played in the NFL. This kid, he went to D1. So I've been around all the type of kids. I had coached the best. I coached the best of them. That's why I tell him about his son. I said, man, I see something in your son because I seen it in Tavon Austin. I said, oh, man. He was like, for real? I said, man, I'm telling you, if he stay working, he definitely can be that one. But you got to put the work in. Yeah, kids putting the work in because it's a kid sitting on the sideline, ain't never pick up nothing. Boom, he got it, he gone.
Yeah.
He the one.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if anybody else can, but I'm gonna go a little bit off script. Oh, you got.
Yeah, I want to add to it. Like I was young. I want to say I was like living the best of my life. At least I thought. And then God had another plan for me. My name is Sharif Williams. I have 2 sons. I have a 34-year-old, 20-year-old. Ironically, how I got into sports is my oldest son. He has a disability. Sharif Jr., he's 34. Little behold, did we know that he would have a disability. He came out, he didn't even cry when he first came out in this world. He was blue. Umbilical cord was wrapped around his throat. Wow. Literally had to take it off. This is back then we had VCRs, like the, camcorders. I was there to record everything. I want to say right then and there, my life just changed for me. But this was like an eye awakening, like this is you. You're not for yourself now. You brought something in this world. Now is the time to, step up as a man and take care of it.
Yeah. We're painting. I like the pictures we're painting, but there's something else we gotta get out to these kids too. How do you guys handle when because we've all been around a long time, 45 years. You know what I'm saying? Dang. But but we want. What do you guys? How do you guys handle when you're talking to your kid? You know the exact situation they're going through. You've been through it, and you're trying to talk to them, and they're looking at you like, man, you don't know what's going on. You're 45. You don't know what's going on. How do you guys handle that situation? Now that you've gone through the parenting, you've gone through the changes, they're going through the changes. How are you guys handling those situations now?
That's just the growth part. Because I know me and this guy right here can relate a lot. We come from different environments, right? I feel it from you too, right? Growing up in Baltimore City, I'm from Emerson Village, Baltimore City, born and raised, right? When you come out here, this environment changes you, right? And you have to see how you need to change when you're dealing with your kid. Because everything looks like weakness to you. And then you try to put it into your kid, and then you feel like you learned that you feel like you're abusing them. And you don't want to get to that point, right? But you come from that environment. I'm not speaking for everybody, but I'm just saying, I come from that environment, and you learn that sometimes the best thing that happens to you is for you. You understand? So if they don't hear you, you let them go through it, and then you be there for them.
Yes, sir.
Right? And that's the most powerful thing people have to realize and understand. The things that happen to you are for you, and not for anybody else. And once you learn that, also all you do is learn to support them through everything.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Fact. Piggyback off of that, man. I couldn't agree with that. I couldn't agree with that anymore. I find myself a lot of the times I'm trying to tell my kids like, hey man, you should be doing that. You should stay away from doing that. They give you that look like you don't know what you're talking about. I'm Jamel Walker. I have 4 kids myself, 3 boys and 1 girl. Got a 17-year-old, Harper Technical High School. I got a 15-year-old, boys Latin. I've been looking for this man for a while now. I didn't know you were Ladio's dad this whole time, so that's amazing. We're gonna connect afterwards. He also plays football. Jordan, a 13-year-old, he's at Magnolia. He's still finding, which path he wants to go, basketball, football. Encouraging him just to play and have fun right now, just train hard, work hard. And then my beautiful 4-year-old daughter, she's been a blessing in my life. Total change of pace, and I love it. I can see her dancing, gymnastics, all the videos that she watches. Get in front of my camera and do her little dances. I'm sure she'll want to take dance classes. So, hey, I went through a lot. I'm still here, and everything that I went through built me. So I'm not gonna stop you from getting built the way that God wants you to get built, right? So if you don't want to listen to me, learn it through Him, right? So that's my take on that. If you don't want to listen,
I've learned,
go through it then.
when you talk to them, they may look like they're not listening to you,
But they are.
but 2-3 days later, that conversation will come up, and they'll say, "Well, remember you told me that."
Yeah.
But you don't think they're listening. You know what I mean? And you have to remember today's world, technology
Yeah.
has changed kids. There's no real connection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just comparing themselves to anyone they see on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
But you know, I was raised in Eastern Europe. I came here when I was 15. There was a war there when I came here. I came here as a refugee, and I was forced to live through that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nowadays, kids, my son wants shoes every week. I wear one pair of shoes all year. So it's a different world. You have to adapt to them, but you got to change the way you talk to them.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I talk to both my sons like they're adults when they was 11. So 11 was the age for me where I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk to you like an adult. I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know. Every conversation, I'm gonna give you an adult. Give you a real conversation, because I'd rather talk to my sons, and of course they all give me the, man, you don't know what you're talking about, look, but I'm gonna talk to you about it, because I'd rather tell you this than one of your friends that don't know. So, you know, like my son, right, my youngest son is 15. We talk about everything, every day, riding, 45-minute ride from Akakeet to Springfield. And we talk about everything. And when I tell you everything, I don't miss a beat what we talk about. Sometimes we talk about sex, sometimes we talk about drugs. I'm talking about everything. And I try and give them the blueprint, and I always tell them, you can listen to me or not, but when you find out that I'm right, just come back and tell me.
Yeah.
You know? So that's always been my thing with my sons. I'd be like, hey, if I'm right, come back and tell me. If I was wrong, advice with girls, advice with how to handle friends, how to tell people no, how to tell people yes. I'm a big time talker with my kids.
Yeah.
I treat my kids like they my friends.
Yeah.
In that aspect, just in friendship is I'm gonna talk to you every day. You know, and 11 years old is when I kind of backed up off the spankings and whoopings, and I said I'm gonna talk you through this. Let's talk. You know, so and then most of the times, you know, they give me the, man, what the hell you talking about? But you're gonna hear it from me. You're gonna be able to say you heard it from me, and that's all. I'm cool with that. So you can have that stupid look on your face all you want, as long as when you go back to your mental Rolodex and you say,
Man,
and my dad told me that. That's all that matters. Because I have some regrets for some people that I didn't tell them stuff, and their life went left or right, and so I was like, my kids, I'm never gonna do it. You know, so you know, my kids, we talk. We talk.
I tell my kids, I tell them straight up, like how it is. Like, you know, if you want to do this is the consequence that's gonna come with it.
For sure.
The stuff that's gonna happen. Just, you know, you gotta live through it. But like I took my son, Aaron and Taurus. Took him when he was living in Middle River. Took him down, rolled through East Baltimore. And I said, look.
War
straight down. Yeah. I said, look, Dad, why that kid and his little brother crossing the street? I said, they surviving. That's how they survive in East Baltimore. That's how, you know, they surviving. I said, y'all got it good. And we just in Middle River. I said, y'all got it good, you know? I said, little kid crossing the street. He said he probably wasn't even no more than 8. Little brother probably like 2.
Well,
you know, no shirt on, one got a tank top on, and they going, I already know, he's going to the store. Don't know where the mother is. So they realize, then they look at it, ride down, they see the houses, all these houses are abandoned. That's how it is. This is Baltimore. It's Baltimore, you know? I don't want to live in Baltimore. He said, I don't want to live in Baltimore. That's why I told him. My goal was, in Middle River, I seen Middle River get bad. I said, you gotta move. Yeah. I want y'all to live better than what I did.
Yeah.
Because me and my brother, we was raising 2 bunk beds.
Yeah.
A bunk bed. Once he moved out, I got me a full size bed. I was loving it. I was the athlete. He's supposed to have been the DJ, and then, you know, things just happened.
Yeah.
But it was a blessing. It's a blessing to see all the kids that I helped out, you know, that saved their lives. Some of them doing great. Some of them, you know, some of them ain't got no teeth in their mouth. Some of my friends, like I tell, like all us got a bunch of friends. So we know out of all those friends, somebody's gonna be getting high.
Yep.
Somebody's gonna be poor. Somebody's gonna be real rich. And some of them just gonna, you know, they just gonna probably die, pass away or something.
Yeah.
That's just, you know, I tell them that's life. That's how it is. I say, so you got to do stay on the right path, and don't do no drugs, and don't try to sell any drugs. That's the key.
Yeah.
I tell my son my mistakes. Don't make the same mistake I did. You know, I could have made it playing golf. I was really good, natural athlete at it. I didn't work at it. Did not work at all. I just went out and did it, and
You're
I
gonna
was
be
pretty
on my,
good.
You're gonna be on my threesome next time, bro.
I was like, cool.
You what?
Golf. He knows what I'm talking about. He knows what I'm
Yo, what's going on with Ricky, man?
He's on a rock. What's going on? What even happened when you got God, man?
Three-person golf group, all right? 3 minute progress. Go on, man.
Wow.
You know what I mean.
Edit that, please. Edit that.
Sugar back in.
But yeah, so I mean, I told him, I said, look, I could have made it, but I didn't because I didn't work at it, and it was one of the biggest regrets I ever had. So I said, if you love it, work at it. Don't learn from my mistake. If you want it, go for it. Make sure you have a backup plan, but go for it. So, and thankfully, he's taking my advice, putting in the work.
Yes, sir.
So I had no choice, not no choice, I had a choice, but how I tried to raise my kids and my sons especially, well, my 3 sons, is that I tell them what I want them to do, what I expect from them, then I gotta show them, right? Exemplify what I show them, and then after that, I just gotta pray that they can learn, and I try to surround them in an environment and only around people that are intentional with the good energy. And I'm saying because that's one thing that we can control with our kids is their environment as much as we can. I know when they go out and they walk in the streets, they go to First Fridays and stuff like that. But like, as far as I'm real specific about their friends group, and I got a 15 about to be 16-year-old, and I'm just glad that he's not in the stuff that I was into when it was his age. And not that it was all that bad because I was a great athlete, but all the extracurricular stuff, these kids don't have a chance to make that choice to have one foot in, one foot out. They got to be committed. I believe you got to be committed a lot earlier in sports now to heighten your chances of making it, right?
Yeah.
It's not a whole lot of the 1 foot in, 1 foot out thing. So first of all, my kid, I have to tell them what I expect from them and then exemplify it because my kids was with me through a change, right? So they seen, I'm a single father now. I wasn't always a single father. So they see me in the house with us as a family, then me out the house, not trying, but discovering the challenges of getting it back. So now that I'm a single father, they see me in maybe 3 or 4 stages of change. So at the end of the day, like I said, they're very clear on what I expect of them to be good people, right? And I probably began to sow into them in sports a little bit later than I would like to because of this situation, right? But just good people first. Try to show them what good people are, you know what I mean? And like I said, at the end of the day, pray because these kids these days are facing challenges that a lot of times we trying to learn in front of them. We trying to get ahead of the curve and learn this world before they got to learn it the hard way. So this, as far as my family background, I come from a family that has championed the challenges that we all had, right? So I'm very cognizant of that. And if they don't make it in sports, I mean, my thing is always, I paid the cost for them to pave the way in sports. Hey, let's try to find something else once you identify that that's not your thing, right? Or let's just try to find a thing in sports. So that's just my thing with those, and then the other kids. Cause I deal with more kids than just if I got 3 kids, I got 50 kids. I work at the Boys and Girls Club. So what you saying at 20, at that time that you had it, I had that that conversation with parents at around the same age, right? Yeah. And then I left for 10, 12 years being married to I was a military spouse. So when I come back, I see these kids dead or in jail or on these hard drugs that 18-year-old to 40, 50-year-olds is on, right? So it hit me different. So when I say I'm in the trenches, I'm just saying, obviously I'm in the worst neighborhoods in Harford County and Baltimore City, right? This is where my friends, my basketball friends, my family that's in Baltimore City. So I know that we all face the same challenges theoretically, right? It's just more concentrated. It's a lot more people down there. It's a lot more savage down there, right? But I face some of the same challenges and have those things in common with my teammates that I've met through basketball. So like I said, I just say that just trying to exemplify, most importantly, exemplify those characteristics that I expect from them. And hopefully that radiates through, the community, but first my household. Really.
Yeah, and Rick, I'm gonna tell you, so we have this thing that Ricky knew me from New York. You're not gonna play with me, right? I don't care I don't care. You're not gonna play with me. And because of that, like when we were on the basketball court, it was a different level of aggression when we played. You understand what I'm saying? There was a different level of aggression when we played in New York, and you know, and I'll go to backstory. I won't tell the backstory of how of my life, but right now we're giving our kids all this stuff, right? We're saying, hey, we're giving you the nice houses, we give you the sneakers every week. We do all this different stuff. You can ride in the car. You have a nice car. You press the button, it turns to Optimus Prime. We're doing all these different things for our kids, right? But now we're seeing, and I'm going back to what you're talking about, when we see them on the basketball court or in sports in general or even in life, is it aggression that we had before because they don't have that experience? What's happening? Are they actually
Masculinity, man. Like it's changing, man. Like it's not the same. It's not. I try to keep that. I try to keep that to myself just now, but
Nah,
I ain't want to say nothing
you wanna
because
say that. One.
I also struggle with that, and I also take accountability. Like when I teach my son, I'm teaching being a masculine man. Like ain't no crying, we're not going through that. But he's not the same as me. Like in the beginning, his early playing years, like things I said to him would shut him down. But me going up, somebody said that to me, man, you sorry as mug, yeah. I'm taking that like, what? I'm going smacking. My dad said that to me. Man, that's taking me to another level. I mean, I don't even understand. Like, it takes me to like an anger level I can't even explain. You telling me I'm sorry? You crazy. Nowadays, they shut down. Or it's just like, it's sensitive. It's so sensitive. And I'm not saying it to be like, I'm being super respectful, but I want my son to go out to be able to express his emotions and stuff like that, for sure. But it's just nowadays it's just different.
Big dog, I don't like keep your emotions to yourself. I'm gonna be honest. You it's almost like you want to say, hey, man, I ain't know none of that. Like that's why sometimes with my wife, I be like, bro, hey, don't listen to your mama. And I know that sounds bad. I know it's cliche. I'll be like, bro, she's speaking to you from a woman and from society, bro.
Yep.
Like how you be on that no crime, I'm saying, hey, bro, we ain't all the stuff that I was raised. Because my wife comes in with well, you got to do it like this. He got to be able to express himself. Hey, motherfucker, don't express yourself on the court. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you doing that on the court. Express yourself and you get inside and I know a lot of people may say different. Do it in your room, do it somewhere else. Bro, you don't need to show that stuff. Like, I know your mom is telling you you can be in touch with your sensitive. Don't do that, bro. You know, that's from her experiences, what she's trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, so I'm like, nah, don't.
Friction, man. Like, that's the.
But
you see
it though. You see it. You understand, because this is I love to bring segues back, right?
Yes.
It's the epitome of being a father, because we saw people with a bunch of masculinity where we come from crash out, kill somebody, go murder somebody.
For sure.
It's no guide to that masculinity. And from that no guide to the masculinity, we saw people make crucial mistakes.
Emotional intelligence.
So when you want to talk about a round table of fatherhood, think about that. You're the guide to tell them which way you're supposed to use that masculinity, right? And don't expect it to be the version because we got ours from the neighborhoods or the people that we come from. Don't expect it to be the same thing. Expect it to be judgment first before action, because action always got us in trouble. Right? And you looking for the action, but I gotta praise that they doing judgment. Right? So we forget that. So we can have a round table like this of a bunch of masculine men and come to the resolution or the solution to say, hey, we're doing right in both perspectives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're still the guy that you're supposed to be. And don't compare it to what you think you're coming from, because none of that crap was was the part of it.
So I say let's piggyback. If we talking sports dads, any level of sports dad, I'm thinking emotional intelligence in the sports world is telling you, especially your son or your daughter, if they got the opportunity to play sports, that's where you express that emotion, frustration, anger, any of that. Take it out in the game. Now, in practice, us as coaches supposed to, is the magic question, how do we get it? That's be the only place they take it out on. But I'm telling you, I think I'm teaching my kids that no matter how high level you are, there's a place for that anger. It ain't fighting your brother. It's a place. It's displaced anger. When you talk about mental health, I'm a mental health guy. So when you talk, it's displaced anger. You save all that. Don't. I'm saying this because I would agree with somebody if they thought case by case, but their kid needs to express something to their mom. Okay, then go ahead. But if y'all in your kid's life and that's what it is in the house, that's what it is. Don't tell your wife I said it. I'm about to act like I've never been married. And tell your wife. No, don't tell her. They'll be on the camera. That guy said it. What I'm saying is maybe explain to her that we gotta let sports use because a high level athlete needs some anger. Needs some frustration on them days that you can't. I mean, talking these, we call them soft kids that we coaching now. They need it. Don't forget the anger. Don't let it go. Hold that. I don't care what you angry about. Hold it there. That's where you need. That's where the extra fuel comes. That's where these kids be dizzy. Brand new shoes on, knee braces, glasses, all this $3,000 worth of equipment, and they about to pass out. Pushing it too hard, right? I'm saying I think they used all that anger when they was on the game. They upset at the game. I mean, I be snatching control out my baby son's hand if he start crying because he lose a Fortnite. Come on, bro. You ain't ready for sports. So I'm saying is I'm just saying I'm just thinking.
Also, like I feel like if parents are struggling, I mean, it's from my point of view though. I mean, man, coach your son. Like coach somebody. So you can see the other aspect. They gave me an opportunity this year to coach my son in football, and I got to actually see him from a different lens. Like I seen the parent. I could hear the parents going crazy, saying crazy stuff, and I'm like, man, that was me. But I can see how it can hurt a kid, though, especially as a coach, you coaching a kid to execute plays and do certain things and like playing a dangerous sport. Like I finally seen it.
Congratulations.
14 years
Other
old.
side.
You took the challenge. You know, a coach say, yo, you come coach. You ain't coach.
Fathers to coach your son. Coach your son. Like I know Coach Bender, Belair, I know Coach Nate, I know coaches like I know Ricky, everybody I know is different. It's a different, you know what I'm saying? It's a different atmosphere. Nate, like it's a different atmosphere. I would express that though.
Coach your kids to be
Coach your kid.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think I see it so much, you know, parents don't know. We hear this. We hear the noise from the sideline. We hear it.
We know.
The detriment that some parents do in talking after the game, oh, well, your coach did this wrong, and they're pulling all that accountability out, and they're basically saying, you do what you want, and that makes those kids uncoachable. So, you know, if any parent hears it, let the coaches coach. Yes, I know a lot of them are volunteers. Maybe they don't know exactly what they're doing. Cool. You know what? Work private coach for some other things if you want, but kids got to be coachable. They're never going to get anywhere if they're not coachable. I mean, look at all the star athletes that should have been great, but they're a locker room problem because they weren't coachable.
This man right here helped me.
Dumbball squad.
He helped me right here.
That Dumbball squad. Man, Michael Lloyd and all of them.
Oh, yeah.
One of them made it to the NBA and they was way better than Jordan, dog. I went to one game. They said we're gonna dunk this whole first half and dunk. Next one with 3 points. Not near one of them made it anywhere, dog. Uncoachable.
I'll tell you. So Coach Zach here helped me. So one day I was at a spot, and I'm crazy. So I'm yelling. I'm like, yo, what the heck you doing to my son and all that? He came to me after. He goes, hey, big dog, let me talk to you. That's how it was like, hey, let me talk to you. It was me and Rufus, so I'm snitching on Rufus too. Whatever camera I'm at, Rufus was doing the same thing with his son, because we played together. So both of us, he grabbed both of us like, yo, let me talk to both of y'all. So we go out there and we're like, he's like, listen, he can't get the same thing from both ends. Sorry. He can't get the screaming from both ends, right? So either you're going to be the bad guy, then I'm going to have to be the good guy as the coach. Or you could be the good guy and let me be the bad guy. He said, if after the game you want to be like, yo, Coach Zach sucks, right? He said, do that. But let me be the bad guy in terms of yelling at him when he's not doing something right and all that. And you be the good guy. When he's finished, you ask him, hey, did you play your hardest? Did you do the things you need to do out there? All right, hey, let's rock out.
Yeah.
So he helped me do that, and I definitely I do that better now. I'm not all the way saved.
I think one of y'all talked about burnout. That's like just being in it for so long. At the 45, I've seen really good kids get burned out.
Yeah.
Or and I'm like, man, at the end of the day, I'm a hard-nosed coach. So you get parents that's like, that's talking, they screaming at their kid. I'm nose to nose with them.
You could say like Marlon.
Nah, you ain't the first one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm just like, man, let me be the bad guy, because basketball, like all sports, sometimes you play good, sometimes you play bad. You can't control that. That's a God's hand. But you can control how hard you play. You can control if you dive on this floor. You can control if you take charges. And I was going to add that about the Knicks, why the Knicks is winning, because they doing all the things that don't show up in the stats.
Right.
When you look at it, they doing all the things, the winning plays. They making every winning play. If you go back and look at those games, they making first play to first game, tap, he get the tap, he hit the three in the corner. Second game, he get the steal, on Wemby mistake at the end of the day. But as long as they play hard, because I have to wear 3 hats. I have to wear dad, coach, and husband to a wife that know basketball. Why didn't my son up like?
Y'all believe in mental health? Do y'all believe in mental health?
Oh,
Yeah. Mental health.
I believe it to a certain point.
To a certain extent.
You can watch your kid. You can watch your kid play. Like the problem I had, and coach just hit me with. He hollered, man, listen, man, you making them not like the game. You can make your kid not like the game, but you see him. Like my kid played with these certain kids, since he was 6 years old, right? He was always the youngest kid on the team. You could put this kid with any other group of kids and he will play. But all of a sudden, when he gets with these kids, he just mentally shuts down. So you know it and you want to get out of it, and then you get to the point where you become abusive without even knowing, because all you want to do is help. Like they said, there's no guideline to this. There's no, cheat code or handbook or instruction book. Everybody's doing it their own way, and then you learn. You get in this environment, and you see how bad you are and not how good, but you get the support and cast. Like this. Coach Vince hit me with that.
Real quick. Thank you.
No, but I was just like kind of going back to what you was talking about as far as like, coaching them on the right things. Right? Like, I feel like just being around it. Obviously, I haven't been around too long, but I know from my perspective, conversations I always had in the car was, never, why didn't you run that play? Why didn't you shoot more shots? It was always, how could you compete? Alex Massier, aka Sailor's dad. 1 year in as being a father, got a nice 1-year-old that just been raising, understanding how to be a father, learning from obviously men like you guys around here, just the men around my life, just learning from them and kind of building off of that. I coach at John Carroll, so being around youth is been a part of my life for a really long time. Working camps. I also teach in Hartford County, Magnolia Middle School. Been a PE teacher there for about 5-6 years. Obviously being able to build a connection with those kids is a little bit easier being a PE teacher, because that's, everybody likes going to PE. So I see kids in different light, seeing them in their good times and their bad times, and then just being able to teach stuff through sports is big for me. So happy to be here at this table, just I look around a lot of you guys talking about 30-year-old sons, a 20-year-old, and I have a 1-year-old daughter. So just hopefully I can make an impact at that age too. So, like, how could you have been impacted the game in a different way, right? Like those little things, they all matter, right? If you start coaching them on the basketball parts of it, you don't know what the coach is having that good conversation they're having on the day, right? Like they might be telling your son to do something completely different, and then right, I think back to you can only serve like one master, right? If your kid is constantly looking over their shoulder at you, but also trying to please their coach, they're going to neglect one or the other. At some point, it's going to break. And I feel like, being around it, the kids who've had the most success, they've been able, like the parents and the coaches have been able to lift them up in the same direction. They're speaking the same message at the same time, and then they're never overstepping. They know where their boundaries. As long as you are competing, you're doing what you can control the whole entire time, I think you have the chance to have a lot of success.
Yeah, love it. So,
Piggyback on that. I learned a huge mistake I was making until my son started going to John Kerr, but I don't mean to bring schools. You gotta trust the coaches and the school where you're taking your kid. If you don't believe in that, then just take him somewhere else.
Get on truest thing.
At the moment you give your kid to this coach, you just gotta step back. I was doing the wrong things. The coach was telling him something, I was telling him something, and I realized I was just hurting him. The growth was just stuck because he was scared of me, and then he was scared of the coach. So for past year, I just pulled out, like, hey, I trust the coaches. I'm here to support you, whatever you need.
go ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
So I'm a grandfather, so I'm probably the oldest guy at this table.
Damn.
I got a 4-year-old granddaughter, and now I have a 8-month-old granddaughter. And so I'm a baseball and softball guy, professional lessons. And I don't know if all you guys have sat back and looked at the statistics. We're all talking about sports, and kids are playing here, whatever. If you look at the numbers of how many players it takes to make an NBA team, so we're just talking basketball. I can tell you baseball stats, it'll blow your mind. How many players out of 1 million baseball players make it to the MLB?
0.05.
4 out of 1 million. So everybody's talking about sports and all, and I look at sports as communication, because if you play a team sport, you got to communicate. Now, if you play golf or tennis or you wrestle, okay, they're individual sports. The biggest problem I see, and I coach, I've done over 6,000 hitting lessons in the last, 10 or 12 years. He has all the numbers. Communication. So then we talk about, and kids, no matter what you want to tell me, when I was a kid, and some of you were talking about it, kids are there soft. I see kids cry. They hit off the tee. Now, there's some of them they missed the ball off the tee, they cry. I'm like, don't cry. I mean, come on, are you kidding me? The ball's not even moving yet. What are you going to do when the ball's moving? The ball's moving, you're sweating. I mean, it's like, you got to be kidding me. And they're going to say, well, and look, nothing against mental health, because I've been through problems in our life that I know it affects. I get it. But the kids are soft. I mean, it went from getting a spanking to, standing in the corner, time out. No, that don't work. Read the Bible. It don't work.
Spare the rod, save the child.
Spare the
rod, spoil the child.
So everybody says that. The one I like is, if you hate your kid, don't discipline. Absolutely.
Hey y'all, thank you for checking out part 1. Part 2 is coming next week. Love y'all. Peace.